Fuse reinforced wall. Fuse reinforced hatch. Fuse your life. Fuse the world. Fuze is fucking sick. Ubisoft's latest patch changed Fuze, allowing him the ability to now fuse reinforced walls and hatches. Not only that, but operators with the hard breach tool now have a second one, meaning Fuze got a double buff and can now not only fuse reinforced hatches, but open up 2 of them afterwards as well. Basically, Fuze is now the Wish.com Thermite of the R6 operator pool, with the added benefit of being able to blow up as much shit as possible at the same time. Besides his slow approach to life and being a 1-speed operator, making it feel like you're playing the game in 0.5 speed, Fuze is one of my favorite operators right now. His AK-12 is an absolute beast and one of the best weapons in the game, while the versatility of his charges between windows, soft floors, reinforced walls, and hatches make playing him a constantly changing experience that pays off more often than not. I like to set up my AK with the flash hider along with angle grip for those quick snappy shots. On top, we got the 2-time sight, which is a personal favorite. We're also rocking the double black ice loadout for extra swag and power, hashtag black ice, hashtag powering up, hashtag epic. That was a joke. That was Today I'm going to go into depth on all things Fuze, bring you every single possible strategy and way to approach life as a Fuze main, showing you all the tricks to increase your knowledge, fill up your playbook, fill up your brain, and set you up to win more of your rounds and more of your games. Strong utility placement and usage in Rainbow Six is an absolutely massive aspect of the game that separates middle pack players to ones at the top level. The difficult part about good utility is working together as a defense or attacking team to set up or clear the utility respectively. Well, our boy Fuze says fuck all that noise and just goes and blows everything up single-handedly. Jaeger's ADSs? Nah, one cluster not only burns all 3, but destroys all 3 afterwards. Umai's disc? Fat chance, buddy, he'll plow right through those too. Arunegates? Well, these actually do a pretty decent job if he's trying to use a window defuse, but other than that, nope. Moral of the story, you can use Fuze as an easy way to solo clear utility depending on the site. If you know a site that has a fusible area to clear utility, you can pick Fuze for that map or site and use the Fuze charges to clear as much as you can. The best part of the buff is a fusible area is now much more now that Fuze can place his clusters on reinforcements. Fusing hatches during basement defenses is a great way to clear out any utility under or around the hatch. For example, you can fuse the hatch in stock on a clubhouse basement defense to clear any goo mines, elemines, Malusi banshees, ADSs, Wamidis, or even bulletproof cameras placed in this area. This makes taking blue much easier for your team, and using his hard breach tool you can open both the blue and moto hatches afterwards. Another key component to using Fuze's cluster charges is that the pucks shoot out from right to left one at a time. Placing a cluster charge from the opposite direction or upside down will flip the direction in which the pucks come out, meaning you can almost aim the pucks at your will. Take the freezer hatch on Oregon, for example. Instead of just plopping the cluster charge down on the hatch, if you face west as you place it, the first puck will shoot towards the freezer door, meaning if a player is playing here, they won't have as much time to react to the Fuze charge and move away. You can use this mechanic to be more precise with your charges and force defenders into or away from specific areas. On the kitchen site on Coastline, you can use the charges in combination with breach charges to push anyone playing in the kegs area out into the open. Breaching above the bathroom first, then fusing behind the bed while facing north or south will cover the entire kegs area and pucks, forcing the defenders to retreat into bathroom or service. A teammate on the service door will be able to shoot the defender if they run towards service or kitchen, and using the breach hole from above as Fuze, you can shoot them if they run into bathroom. There are many more situations on many maps where this is a viable tactic, so do some thinking before just fusing everything and missing out on opportunities like this. Another very strong ability Fuze has is that he can clear mute jammers off of walls. If a mute is placed in the middle of a wall, Fuze can put a cluster on the far left or right while standing and it will not be muted. This cluster will then destroy the mute charge and you can open up the wall afterward with his hard breach tool. The counter to this is to place a mute jammer for every panel, which most people aren't going to do. If it's an exterior wall, you can also repel and place a Fuze charge at the top of the wall to clear the jammers. The fact Fuze can do this is insanely powerful, as so many teams rely on mute to keep walls closed. This one feature alone takes Fuze to a whole new level, giving him an insane advantage over every other hard breach operator. Fuze might just be the best hard breacher in the game right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if competitive teams started running him as the secondary hard breach in their lineup. Now that we've explored all the interesting things Fuze can do, let's look at the most common way to play Fuze and up your game in that area. Fuze is most typically used once a team takes the floor above the bomb site and is then utilized to rain fire down on the site using his cluster charges. However, most people still don't even know how to do this properly. Placing all 4 cluster charges down one at a time and trying to kill players on site just isn't going to work if the other team has any sort of brain function. The defenders will hear the fuse charge begin to ignite and move around the area, avoiding the clusters one at a time. What I'm proposing is to take vertical control and then hold it and wait for your teammates to position themselves around the site. Once your team has lines of sight into the objective, that's when you want to use your fuse charges to move the defenders on site around, pushing them out of their anchor spots and into the lines of sight of your teammates, who should theoretically dumpster them as they sprint away from the cluster. If you don't have competent teammates, you can attempt to do the same thing on your own. Use a couple charges to clear out any utility you know of, then place a final fuse charge to blow later on in the round. Get into a spot where you have an angle on sight and blow the charge to push the defenders into you. To take it one step further, you can even time the fuse charge as you push into the site to cover an area or a plant. If you're set up for it, you could also use the cluster charges during a post plant to cover the case and pucks, which could give you the extra edge needed to win the round. Once you hear the defender start to defuse, blow the fuse charge and it will push them away from the case, forcing them to restart the defuse once the cluster is done exploding, which they might not have the time for at that point. Fuze isn't just a basic boy though, he's got even more in the tank. Are you an Amaru main who flies into windows every round and tries to kill as many people as possible? Why not turn it up a notch and start hot breaching windows with fuse charges? You can use the cluster charges to appear like you're in one area and then hot breach in through another area simultaneously. The cluster not only clears out an area for you, but makes a lot of noise to make it less obvious that you've hot breached in. You can blow a fuse charge on the heaven window of Cafe while you hot breach in through the cocktail window. The cocktail player won't only be deafened by the exploding pucks, but probably very confused as to why you had the balls to hot breach in like an absolute psychopath. Trust me, this works way more than you would think. Okay, it's not all sunshine and rainbows with Fuze, or else everyone would be playing him all the time. There are some definite weaknesses he has that, as long as you're aware of, you can avoid to the best of your ability and minimize the chances of being fucking pwned. So what are they? Firstly, Fuze is very, very slow. He's slow moving and takes a lot of time to rotate from one area of the map to another. Placing his fuse charges is no swift task either and can often be an easy way to lose your life if you're not smart about it. This slowness makes playing him a little boring, but doesn't stop him from achieving greatness. Because of his slowness, he's a very easy target for C4 ops, especially during his fuse placements. This is why it's super important to clear any val cams or bulletproof cameras that may be set up on the floor above. The biggest concern is Pulse, a hard counter to Fuze that will put him in the dirt over and over again. Pulse absolutely dismantles any attempt at vertical play for a Fuze main, as his overwhelming slowness makes him such an easy C4 kill. The solution to the defenders having a Pulse on the board is literally not picking Fuze, or avoid fusing from above entirely. This isn't a complete shutdown, as fusing reinforced walls is still a safe way to avoid being blown in half, but definitely limits the ability you have with the clusters. Another counter to Fuze is the cluster charges being shot. This happens pretty frequently, especially on windows. Fusing windows very early on in the round is a good way to increase your chances of window clusters working, as defenders are typically still setting up early in the round or aren't positioned properly to get in time. Charges can also be shot off reinforcements, but I haven't had any personal experiences with this, and if it's not happening in champion ranked, it's probably not happening very often, so Fuze away. That's Cav.
I don't want to play on this 7.1, it's fucking weird. I don't like it.
Nomad Trench, Hazard, go! Go!
Nomad Trench?
Yes,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, someone join bathroom. I could probably have
I can
that.
join it, yeah. There's nothing solar.
One's piano on
Your bathroom's clear.
Holy shit.
There's 2 stims here. You can pick up both stims. There's 2 there, though.
Put in the closet. Not this one. No, get him. In the hall.
Wow. That was the fastest round of all time. Did you get the double stim?
Yeah, I did.
Where you caught the stimmy?
Look at that.
Guys,
And that's why we do that take every single time. Now, Rainbow Six isn't a game about the best one-man army there is, and Fuze has some duo operators that pair up with him quite nicely. Amaru is the first of them. I've talked about the Amaru Fuze strat before in another video where I showed how to actually play Amaru, which is a great video, by the way. To my Amaru players out there who want to be even better with her, you should go watch that after this. But anyway, the Fuze Amaru strat is one of my favorites. Start off by getting your Amaru to shoot the window frame as you place a fuse charge down. This will cover the sound of you placing the fuse and decrease the chances of the defenders shooting off the charge. Next, let your Amaru player reload first because they're going to need the whole mag for what they're about to do. Make sure they have their zipline out and then set off the fuse charge. When the second puck explodes, get your Amaru to activate their zipline and they'll come in through the window as the final puck is exploding. This will cover the entire audio of Amaru and the defenders won't even know that she's entered the building. The cluster cluster will also destroy any traps, shields, or cameras that would have been in the area, clearing the path for Amaru entirely. Amaru can then chill in the building to catch rotating defenders or push through and massacre as many people as she possibly can. Pretty sick play that is easy to do and super fun. Next on the list is the Ying Fuze combo. You can probably guess this one ahead of time, but basically you place a fuse charge down, throw the Candela down on the floor next to it, and when the Candela pops, you blow the fuse charge. Any defenders under these two bad boys will be absolutely screwed, as it's much more difficult to navigate away from 5 fuse pucks exploding when your entire screen is white and you can't hear shit. I just simply would not want to be that guy for obvious reasons. Oh yeah, Dank, come with me. We're gonna Ying Fuse the floor. Right on this mirror.
What?
We're
Like, what is
scheming.
wrong with this guy?
We're gonna get up top, you're gonna Ying right above this mirror, and then he's gonna be full blind and I'm gonna fuse him.
First season.
Alright, come Ying right here. Come Ying right here.
Well, how big kitchen
Wait,
is
where's
there,
the
guys?
site?
It's sketch.
Alright, it's gonna go off in like 2 seconds.
Shit.
Oh, they know?
Right,
Where's that guy?
He was in kitchen. Yeah, both inside, both inside.
Okay.
Hop the kitchen window, Azar. We're fucking shit up here.
No, I'm at the door right now.
Okay, watch it. It's getting fused.
I'm walking it.
Stay safe.
He's
stay
dead.
Shit, boys.
Nice.
Is that you?
Ying can't place her Candelas on reinforced walls like Fuse can, but having her roll them or throw them into the area also works really well. You can Candela the CCTV window on Clubhouse while fusing the CCTV wall to disorient and kill anyone in the area, while simultaneously clearing any utility in CCTV at the same time. There's a lot of exploration to be done with these two, and it can be very exciting to play around with. Another way to secure your flanks while working vertical control of Fuse is have your duo run Nomad. Help join them in and get their air jab set up, and then they can rotate down to cut off defenders moving around on site. Fuse can go crazy from above without having to worry about being flanked, and Nomad should be able to clean up some easy kills. Anyway, that's all I have for you right now. One last quick thing you can also do is fuse off mutes and bandits on the generator wall on Oregon by fusing the floor here. This is a pretty niche thing, and you can also just fuse a gen window instead, but it's kind of cool, so I figured I'd throw it in. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, subscribe for more R6 content, and stay chillin'.
I just shot 2 ADSs. Are we playing
Yeah,
this
I know
fucking
it's
name is
there.
Leaky?
No problem.
No
One
chance.
is C3, I think.
The shield top white has no fucking ADS on it.
Actually,
Fuck, what's a cat?
he's C3.
That guy is so mad.
The actual fuck puts a capkin on.
One's in heaven right now.
I got the play. He's stage? He's dead stage.
Pick
Yep,
6 is
sir.
clear. I'm gonna go over to C1, or are you in C1?
One's in freezer, I think.
One on top of two.
Yeah, one's freezer.
Can you hold my pixel?
There's 2 flanks. Oh yeah, I can.
That's ward.
Watch me.
I'm gonna run for inner bar.
Okay, good. One's cocktail.
Yo, one's got 2. Yeah, Thunderbird.
This one's top white.
Top white, that's one. Perfect weapon.
Damn it.
He's bathroom now. Digger bathroom. Digger dead. Don't know if it's clear up here, I'm gonna be honest.
Yo, can you get the wall or is there stuff on it?
No, you did. I just started nade above.
The wall a little.
He's still fireplace. Fireplace last.